Hey guys, I'm Mason, and in this video I'm going over my Week 3 NFL game picks. So I made it in time for the Thursday night game this week. Um, we have the Patriots at the Jets, and honestly I think this will be a close game. Going into the season I thought the Jets were going to be a lot better than they have been playing, and I thought the Patriots would be doing a lot worse. So I'm excited to watch this one. I think it'll be really close, but I think the Jets will end up winning 17-23. Then we have the Giants at the Browns. The Giants, despite losing, didn't play awful. Okay, so they scored 3 touchdowns, scored 18 points. They went for 2-point every time because their kicker got injured. They lost 18-21 to the Commanders. But like 3 touchdowns isn't bad. Their defense just didn't hold up enough. I mean, yeah, okay, 18 points isn't much, but like it's not awful. The Browns beat the Jaguars 18-13. It's like had a sound game. I don't know. I think this one will also be fairly close, but I just don't see the Giants being good enough yet. I think they have potential. Like, okay, I don't think they're going to make it far this season, but I think they'll win a game eventually, just not this one. Final score 16-22 Cleveland. Okay, the Bears at the Colts. As a Bears fan, I'm excited for this game. The Colts are kind of struggling this season, but so is Chicago, so this should be a really good one. I really hope the Bears can win this one. Their offense and Caleb Williams looked quite a bit better last week than it did in week 1. They made some mistakes on offense, but like they also got a lot more yards and scored some points. So it looked better in my eyes. Let me know what you guys think. But I'm going with Chicago in this one, 24-16. The Texans at the Vikings. This should be a really close game, actually. I'm super excited for it because both of these teams are doing surprisingly well. I think it'll be a fairly high-scoring game, but I have to go with the Texans. I don't know. I'm tempted to say the Vikings, but I just gotta go with the Texans in this one. Final score 27-23. And now we got the Eagles at the Saints. No way the Saints lose this one. Okay, so I'm really curious about the Saints this season. I want to know what you guys think on the Saints. Are they legit? Like, they've scored over 90 points this season. They put up 44 against Dallas last week. Like, what is going on with the Saints? They're cooking. The Eagles, on the other hand, they're not doing awful, but I kind of expected more. They lost to the Falcons on Monday night, 22-21, and I really expected them to win that game. So I think the Saints are going to win this one. Final score 27-38. I really hope that one's high score. Anyway, Chargers at the Steelers. This should be another really close one. I haven't heard who the Steelers are naming their starting quarterback because I think Russell Wilson is healthy, but Justin Fields hasn't been doing that bad. He hasn't been doing that good either is the only problem. So I'm curious to see what the Steelers decide to do. Either way, I think it'll be their defense that is going to carry them, like it has been the last couple weeks. I mean, their defense is playing so good. They only let up 6 points last week against the Broncos, and like I know the Broncos are kind of struggling, but still, only allowing 6 points is crazy good. The Chargers, I'm not gonna lie, haven't been following them that close, but they're 2-0, so they're obviously not doing bad. But I kind of think the Steelers will win this one. The way their defense is playing, it's just hard not to win games. So I'm going 13-16 Pittsburgh. The Broncos at the Buccaneers. This is an easy pick for me. Buccaneers all the way on this one. Broncos are struggling. Buccaneers are not. So I think Tampa Bay wins this one fairly easily, 10-27. The Packers at the Titans. This one could be interesting. Packers are doing surprisingly well for Jordan Love being out, and Titans are just not playing all that good. So I think the Packers will win. I think it might be close just because the Packers are not playing their starting quarterback. But I still think Green Bay will win because they're still playing decent without Jordan Love. So I'm going Green Bay 20-16. The Dolphins at the Seahawks. So Tua got another concussion. He will not be playing in this game, and no one knows if he'll be playing another game at all. He might just retire. So I think that'll be tough on the Dolphins, and the Seahawks are playing good this season, so I think the Seahawks win this one. Final score 13-23. The Panthers at the Raiders. The Raiders really surprised me last week. They beat the Ravens, and that was something I never saw coming. The Panthers played awful against the Chargers, lost 26-3, so I think this should be a fairly easy win for Las Vegas. Final score 9-21. Okay, this game, Lions-Cardinals, is probably the one I'm most excited for because the Cardinals went crazy last week, beat the Rams 41-10, and the Lions lost to the Buccaneers, only put up 16 points. So this one should be really good because I don't know if that was just a random thing for the Cardinals because in week 1 they did not do that good, but week 2 scoring 41 points is absolutely insane. Um, so just for that reason, I'm going with the Cardinals on this one. I think it'll be a close game though. I'm so excited for it. Final score 27-30. The Ravens at the Cowboys, this is another one I'm really excited for, but in such a different way, because both of these teams are kind of struggling. Okay, week 1 Cowboys played really good, but then week 2 they completely fell off when they played the Saints. And that's just so hard on me because I don't know if that means the Cowboys are not legit or if that means like okay, I don't know what that says about either team, the Cowboys or the Saints, if that makes sense. The Ravens on the other hand are just struggling. They lost to the Chiefs week 1, lost to the Raiders week 2. Yeah, they're playing tough teams, but I expected them to have at least one win by now. I thought they would be one of the really good teams going into this season. So I'm really curious to see how this one goes. But I'm going with Baltimore here just because I think they've got to get a win one of these games, right? Final score 22-16. The 49ers at the Rams. This one should be interesting too because, like I said, the Rams played awful last week against the Cardinals, and the 49ers, it was last week, yeah, they lost to the Vikings 17-23, and that was really surprising. That was another thing that I did not see coming at all. So I don't know. It's a divisional game, those tend to be close, but I think the 49ers are going to win this one. Final score 26-20. We have the Chiefs at the Falcons. Um, the Falcons didn't play bad last week. I mean, they beat the Eagles, which I didn't see coming. It was a really close game though, and the Chiefs, they've been playing good all season. They barely snuck past the Bengals. I know that game was really controversial. There was that PI call late in the game, but the thing is that stuff happens in the NFL and to the Chiefs. It's just something that, like I said, it just happens. So I'm going with Kansas City in this one, 24-17. Monday, we have two games. I don't know if they're both at night. But anyway, first Monday game is the Jaguars at the Bills. Jags are another team that I really thought would be doing much better this season, but they still haven't won a game. And Buffalo is doing about as expected. They're playing good, winning games, so I think this will be another win for Buffalo. Final score 19-28. And 3 people from FanPix agree that the Bills will win. Next Monday game, we have the Commanders at the Bengals. The Commanders have actually been really surprising this season, and so have the Bengals, but both for different reasons. Like Jaden Daniels is playing really good so far this season, and the Commanders are 1-1, which isn't awful. Bengals, on the other hand, are okay. Yeah, they barely lost to the Chiefs last week, and you could argue that they should have won that game, but regardless, they still didn't, and I feel like they just haven't been playing as good as I expected them to, or as they have played in the past. So I'm going with the Commanders in this one. Final score 30-24. 3 votes in FanPix go for the Bengals in this one, so we'll see. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this video and who you think is going to win this week. And if you want to join our Discord to be part of FanPix and just chat with us during the games, there's a link in the description. If that link doesn't work, let me know. I'll help you out, send a new one, and I'll see you next time on Good Gamers. Thanks for watching.